Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish shouting. It's not our fault. Blame the coal. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been prepared for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We're hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pumping. I've been prepared for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pumping, altcoin, pumping.
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin absolutely ripping. The altcoin market is looking absolutely incredibly green. Let's dive into it. If you are here, if you are alive, if your fingers work, get involved on that keyboard in the live chat, whether you're watching on X, Rumble, or here on YouTube. Make sure you get involved. Hit the like button, hit that share button. Let's dive into it. We got a lot to cover today. Good green morning and happy hallelujah to each and every one of you that has been stacking into this market. April 7th, I did a post on my X account that showed that we were likely hitting the bottom and it was going to have a strong reversal. April 19th, I said, we better stack in May because then profits will come your way. And what are we seeing now? We're seeing absolutely explosive upside in the crypto markets. Look at Bitcoin. Let's actually zoom out on here. This is on the daily. Let's look at the price levels on the bottom and the date right here. This is April 7th right here. This is where I did the post, where my mouse is right here, about the likely bottom being in. Now, why was that? It had to do with the price action in this falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. Also coming down to test the previous range high, which we see right here about that 74, 75K region. And then beyond that, we also see the price action showing a bullish divergence. Now, let's go ahead and change the microphone. I just realized for whatever reason, my mic is not, let's see, why is this not showing? Give me 1 second. Some reason it's not showing my SM57. I don't know why it's not doing it. Oh man, are you kidding me? It's not showing my, can you guys hear me? Everything sound okay? Let me know if it sounds okay. The mic might sound a little weak today. It's showing it's a MacBook microphone rather than the, see if I can, it's not showing it. God dang it. Whatever. It's all good. Whatever. You guys let me know if you can hear me, see me, everything. It's not going to sound as good for whatever reason. The mic is showing my MacBook mic, but whatever. It's all good. Let's get into it. So I'll just sit a little closer. So let's get into it. St. Goose, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, St. Goose. Let's get into it. Sorry, I got a little distracted there because of the mic. Awesome. Well, looking at the price action on Bitcoin, we talked about this on my X account on April 7th, which is this date right here, showing that we are likely bottoming on the mic. Showing that we're likely bottoming on the price action on Bitcoin. We retested the previous high. We also had a bullish divergence, so we launched out of this. Now we're getting better economic data and better setup, especially with what's going on with the trade wars with Trump as in China, and also looking at the price action just exploding higher. In fact, today Scott Bessent is also supposed to be talking to the Chinese officials to talk about those tariffs. Shout out to Crypto Billy. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Givers Gain. Shout out to you and the whole fam over there with the Billy Goat Tails. Now, considering what's going on in the market, I just want to point something out. We are seeing green all across the board, and this isn't on the hourly. This is on the weekly. We're starting to see some strong movement to the upside within the altcoin market. In fact, if we come over here to the monthly, wow, everything is green on the monthly as well. We're seeing that sort of that swing of that massive downside we saw in the altcoin market. And considering what we're seeing now, we're seeing some strong bullishness on the hourly. Oh my God, it's crashing. It's not crashing. We're seeing necessary pullbacks. When we look at the coin market cap and we realize we are at $3.25 trillion. Not so long ago, we were at 2.5 trillion. So we're up $750 billion so far in the total market cap of what we're seeing in Bitcoin and across all those altcoins. So we're seeing some strong bullishness. In fact, when you look at the altcoin index, which is here on Coin Market Cap, just come up here to cryptocurrencies, come over here to Coin Market Cap 100 index, or right here, altcoin season index. I want you to notice what this is looking at is the top 100 coins, the performance over the last 90 days. And whereas we only had like 4 or 5, 6 maybe coins that performed into the positive in the top 100 over the last 90 days, about a month ago, now we're seeing this massive swing. Look at all these coins performing incredibly well over the last 90 days. And those coins that perform poorly were these coins these are almost all of these were 80% to the downside, 70%, 60%. I mean, all the way through, like almost 80 of these coins were performing terribly. And we're seeing some incredible bullishness in this market. So I'm going to run through a couple stories. We're going to look at some TA because we are seeing the altcoins also, in addition to the Bitcoin market, performing well. I just want to highlight, I shared this on the BitLab Academy stream for several days into weeks, looking at what's going on in the price action here, suggesting that we might be seeing a reversal pattern in this others chart. Now, this doesn't give you specific altcoin, specific pump setups, but what this does show you is that in general, the altcoins were looking like they were reversing. In fact, I also drew out this metric right here with a likely push to the upside on a breakout, a retest back into this zone, and then a basically large pump from there. And what are we actually seeing? Let's get down to the 12-hour and look at this. Look at the move out of this range, a pullback here, which we talked about. If this were going to happen, this would be a beautiful full setup for a large reversal, which is this inverse head and shoulders, this being the shoulder, this being the head, this being the smaller shoulder, showing higher lows along the way as well, showing the full reversal of this rounding bottom, this inverse head and shoulders, and the breakout of this basically downtrend on altcoins into starting of what we can consider a new uptrend for the altcoin market. For those of you that have been stacking, hallelujah, because we're starting to see the green candles absolutely explode here. And this is absolutely exciting for all of you that have portfolios that have been in the red or those that have been stacking at those lower prices. In fact, one of those coins that I identified that we did hold quite a while ago, we did sell out of, but then got back into, that is BitTensor Tau. We sold out of BitTensor Tau, I believe somewhere in this region here, the $400 to $300 region. And you know, oh, you're over it. I thought you'd like that coin. Well, the dynamic of the market changed. And because the dynamic of the market changed, I moved to consolidate into particular other coins like Ondo and Chainlink and so on and so forth. But this particular coin, because of that sell, dropped 60% discount to where I bought it previously. So we bought back in, not exactly at this bottom, but on this rejection here into this 382. I talked about it here on BitLab Academy with all of you that are paying attention. And right in the zone, $232, right here is where I bought back in. And from this moment, the price is up dramatically higher. So let's go to 232. I'm looking over here on the right for that number. 232 is right about right here. Okay, now it is up. It's moved up 92% since I made that call, and I let you all know about it. In fact, on this move, I've also added a little bit along the way. Another coin that I did a whole video on for the Discover Crypto channel on Tuesday is Injective. This is what I was seeing. Falling channel, a setup with the inverse head and shoulders. We talked about that on Tuesday. I shot the video on Monday, which would have been here. On Tuesday is when that video came out. Price was here at 931. This price has now moved about 30% to the upside with a small little bit of pullback in the near term. However, I will still say, as bullish as this is, I wouldn't be shocked to see this pull back a little bit and test this region of these previous range highs right in here before having full liftoff. As it stands right now, this setup is already magnificent. In fact, I'm going to be buying this position. I'm waiting on an invoice to be paid right now, but the setup is here. The broader context of the market is getting way more bullish. The sentiment is here. And let's go through some of those things. We're going to come back and look at a bunch of other altcoin TA here in just a couple minutes. But when we're looking, I mean, look at this absolute monstrosity of this gold candle going into the green up only season. Now, what are we seeing? Bitcoin's apparent demand is returning. What are we looking at here? The price and apparent demand on 30-day change. We are seeing the flippening, boom, right in here that also we saw previously led to this massive move to the upside. Look at this flip. It's already started, much like here, already started. We saw this continuation of just price action just melting to the upside. Now, everybody that is tuned in right now, I just want to make sure because we had some issues with the mic. This is on my MacBook mic. Let me know. Throw a 1 in chat if you can hear me clearly, if I'm loud, if it sounds good, loud and in charge, and it's clear, let me know. And also want to make sure everybody can see and hear. There's no audio visual issues. Make sure you hit that like button, show some love. I can't wait to see and meet some of you all out in Bitcoin Vegas, the Bitcoin conference. Some of you to see you again. Shout out to Bill Ramsey. I see you here. Blue Green, St. Goose, One House Productions, Mike Volmer, Crypto Billy, Alexander G, the whole fam that is here. We got 1,000 people tuned in right now. That's right. Even if you're watching on YouTube, if it shows 49, which it shows to me right now, we've got about 1,000 people tuned in on across the platforms between Rumble, between X, and between YouTube. So there's a lot of people. I mean, look at this right here. 1,000 people. I don't know why. There you go. You can see the metric. It's 1,000. There you go. 1,002 views. Make sure you hit that retweet button, hit that like button, get entered to win a $100 USDT or $100 value giveaway of other gifts and merchandise and stuff that we have. We have not hit it yet in the last couple days. And what I'm talking about specifically is if you go in there and you hit that retweet button and we hit 40 retweets by the show on Monday. See, yesterday, I don't know why. You guys don't like to engage or something. I don't know. I'm out here busting my ass for you every day. Show some love. And even if you're not going to hit that retweet, drop something in the live chat, hit the like button, get involved here. I want to do some giveaways with y'all, but I just asked for a little bit of participation. Shout out also to everybody that's watching over on Rumble. Make sure you get involved in the live chat here as well. The links to join us on LBank, which one of our channel partners, that link is right here in the pinned comments. Similarly, if you're watching on YouTube, that link is right here in the pinned comments. If you do not see it, all you have to do is hit this more button and you see all of our links to get involved with some of the affiliate partnerships that we have there, and also helps out the channel. Make sure you got your button right here. It says subscribed. If not, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. And of course, if you'd like to join and really help the channel and get involved with different member benefits, it's $1.25 a week to be a member here on the YouTube. Now, continuing on, let's get into it. We got some key metrics we want to pay attention to for what's going on with Bitcoin. Is the price going to continue higher or did it top out? We have demand coming back, much like we saw back here in this massive run. Look at the flip from the bearishness, basically money coming out of market, to demand coming back in. Parabolic increase that we saw in price right here. I think we're about to enter that stage. I, in fact, think we're in the middle of that stage right now. Beyond that, we also see that the move that's gone to the upside has been somewhat attributed to some of these liquidations. What does this mean? Bitcoin's run to $104,000 wasn't magic. It was two nasty short squeezes back to back. This is one at just under 97,000, and another one just above 101,000. So this is not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it makes us want to look at smaller time frames and realize that this very easily could become a Bart Simpson pattern, which is price go up, chop sideways, and then price come back down, because you have a lot of inefficiencies coming to the upside here. So the price coming down and exploring some of these levels before moving higher. That's okay, because if price were to pull back here, it's not the end of the world. It only starts getting weird if we start to lose this level at 93,000. In fact, it would still be bullish to come all the way back down here to 86 to 89,000, because we would still be maintaining higher low status. But we're not going to talk about that right now, because things are bullish. I just want you to be aware that it's a possibility if the price does fall. We just want to make sure we maintain higher lows. Now, continuing on, what do we see? Higher demand. We had some short liquidations, but then we see this right here. I'm not a big fan of technicals, says Preston Pish, but the weekly MACD on Bitcoin is quite bullish. Look at this swing back right here, much like we saw right in this zone. What happened right when this MACD crossed over on the weekly time frame? Look at where this is attributed to. Boom, right here before liftoff. This was $60,000 that saw price go up to $110,000. So that is just under about 90% move to the upside. We just got that cross again right here, and we are on the cusp of having all these trade deals start to roll in. We just had the first one with the UK. We saw the market absolutely rip on that, and also knowing that Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is meeting with China today. Are we going to get good news out of that, or is that going to get pushed? Because if nothing comes of it, maybe there's a little bit of an opportunity for a pullback. But things are so bullish, we should all be welcoming a pullback so we can still get in at this 102 down to 90,000, anywhere in this region. The opportunity to buy around the $100,000 level on Bitcoin is about to leave us, maybe forever. Now is the time to be stacking. We saw Rumble just picked up 210 Bitcoin, but it's only 210. Why does that matter? Because there are roughly predicted about 11,000 institutions that are going to be setting up a Bitcoin reserve or a Bitcoin treasury setup in the next couple years. So even if all of them only bought 100, but 100 isn't a lot for a big institution. Well, what is 100 times 11,000? That is a shitload of Bitcoin and demand that's coming into the market. That's not even considering the ultra high net worth. That's not even considering all the millionaires, the 64 million millionaires that are out there. We have corporations, we have institutions, we have governments, we have states, and we have individuals across the world that are now racing to figure out when and how they're going to get Bitcoin in their portfolio, whether it be from ETFs, whether it be from proxies like MicroStrategy, or just holding cold hard Bitcoin in their own self-custody. The race to stack Bitcoin is already happening, and that is going parabolic, which is going to push the demand for Bitcoin parabolic, which is what? It's going to make the price of Bitcoin go parabolic as well. This is not even mentioning the fact that we're about to have a huge exponential increase in money printing across the board globally. We're already seeing the massive uptick in the global liquidity, and the Bitcoin price is tracking that absolutely perfectly. So what else are we seeing? Good morning, Manny Sharon. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, my brother. Remember, the 5th of November, says Set. You know, everything changed when we have this new crypto-friendly administration. Now, continuing on, what do we got? We got the crossover on the momentum, basically the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. The setup is here, but what else do we got? Are there more signals? Just in, the Bank of International Settlement report calls Bitcoin a potential hedge against currency weakness. The only thing the US dollar and other fiat currencies like the Turkish lira, like the Great British pound, like the euro, the only thing you can guarantee that they're going to do is print more. That is an inevitability with fiat currency systems. Therefore, Bitcoin is by nature programmed to go up in value on that metric alone, let alone the demand that's coming in. So my question for you is, are you buying? Are you selling? Are you still not sure? What fucking data are you looking at if you're not sure? It's either no data or the wrong data, because there is an overwhelming amount of data that is showing that this is not only the opportunity of a lifetime, this is Bitcoin is an imperative for your future. So let's get into it. We got a lot more to cover. Shout out to the 1,400 people that are here. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe button, dinging the bell. I appreciate you being here. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see many of you at Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. And then we see Adam Back says that Bitcoin bull market could be 10x bigger than any let me say this again. Breaking news from an absolute Bitcoin OG here says Adam Back says that this Bitcoin bull market could be 10x bigger than any prior cycle. He called the dip below 100K temporary. So here we go. And we see this in the price action. We see this in the exponential demand for Bitcoin coming in right now. We are knocking on the door of this mega pump gateway at roughly about $110,000, which is currently the all-time high for Bitcoin. I do think this is not a prediction. The new and the next all-time high for Bitcoin is coming very soon, likely in the matter of days, if not just a couple weeks. And I do think this $164,000 Bitcoin is inevitably. And I do think that this. Let me say that again. And I do think that this $164,000 Bitcoin is an inevitability. And I think much higher. I think, even now, I think we can consider $240,000 to $320,000 Bitcoin top. Why? Because the market structure not only shows a massive, massive bullish stair stepping to the upside, we also see exponential demand coming in that's going parabolic. And we also see exponential number of capital channels to get access to Bitcoin and Bitcoin proxies and Bitcoin ETFs. And it's on the world stage of every government out there trying to figure out how can we get involved with this race to reserve. And that's a coin term coming from the Bitcoin IRA. And by the way, shout out to one of our channel partners, bitcoinira.com. Yes, Bitcoin's not only on the world stage, you also have the ability, this is regulated into real financial products. You can roll your 401k into Bitcoin IRA. This is a real financial product that can allow you to trade your Bitcoin and 75 other different cryptocurrencies, essentially tax-free or tax-deferred in your retirement account. And this is all regulated. It's all, it's got all the licenses. It's and we've had Chris Klein here on the channel at BitLab Academy. But they are channel partners, and I think it's so great that we're at the stage now that you can actually involve your retirement in this, the next wave of where all of global finance is going, which is Bitcoin, which is blockchain, digital assets, cryptocurrency, altcoins. And you can do this all over here at bitcoinira.com. You can just give them a call right here if you are interested. I highly recommend it. And just let them know BitLab Academy sent you. We're going to have Chris Klein back on the channel here in the very near future. Now, what else do we got? We got right here, the Bitcoin sentiment has flipped. Stop demand. The Bitcoin sentiment has flipped. The spot demand is rising, and Bitcoin's bull score just jumped from 20 to 80. Bitcoin sentiment has absolutely flipped. This is important. The spot demand is rising because Bitcoin's bull score has jumped from 20 to 80. Above 60 signals bullish conditions and supports higher price. This is that chart right here. Massive. And this also goes back to what we were talking about with the apparent demand, how much buying pressure's in there, and just seeing things like the Coinbase premium, the spot buying. In fact, Checkmatey, who is an absolute legend in the on-chain data analysis, even confirmed yesterday that this move, after those short squeezes that we had, the price was being held, and actually buy pressure is coming in from spot demand, which means healthier conditions are in the market right now, and we all need to take note of that. Now, beyond that, we also see this chart that I shared yesterday. Bitcoin has reclaimed the short-term holder cost basis, and up-only season is coming. In fact, I think we've started it. We are in the middle of it, and that is this right here. We've sliced back through the 200-day moving average. We sliced back through the 21-week moving average, and most importantly, we sliced back above and found support on the short-term holder cost basis, aka the weak hands are now in profit again, as well as the long-term holders. This is what it looks like on all the previous indications that we've seen that this has happened. Once it has reclaimed and launched, massive bull movements on each one of these. I mean, even here, massive sell-off. Once we reclaimed it, bounced. This was a major move, back from around the mid-30s all the way back up here, or mid-40s all the way back up here to $69,000. In fact, it gets even more bullish than that, because I've called this back in April. I said, be stacked by May. Profits will come your way. One of the reasons is the printer is coming. We've already seen it globally. The money printer has been just spitting out. We've seen massive increase in the global liquidity. And we're about to see that also take place here in the US. So shout out to those of you that have been following me over here at Kelly Kellam, Kelly Kellam. I call that out because there's so many fake scam accounts out there that impersonate me. Kelly.Kellam, Kelly Kellam1, Kelly Kellam with 2 capital I's, which look like L's. Make sure you're following the correct account. But I'm keeping you guys on the right side of these trends. In fact, so much so that this argument is dead. Bitcoin has no value. There's still people that say this absolute bullshit. This argument is dead. Bitcoin is now past Amazon, over $2 trillion in market cap for Bitcoin alone. And this is in the middle of Bitcoin transitioning of being an asset to becoming its own asset class. In fact, it already is its own asset class. It's just the fact of people becoming aware of this and where this is going. You are not bullish enough. $10 trillion market cap is coming to Bitcoin by itself, in addition to what we're going to see in the broader crypto market. Now, beyond that, what else do we see? We're looking for that mega pump gateway, $110,000. After this, I think it's going to be very quick, still stair-stepping, but very quick demand coming in for Bitcoin, retail FOMO coming in for Bitcoin, the mass media, absolute free advertisement. Once this breaks past this all-time high of 110,000, the amount of free press Bitcoin's going to get and the number of new wallets and new people and new demand, this is an inevitability. $164,000. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bitcoin over $250,000 this cycle. The question's going to be, when is that this cycle? Is this cycle ending sometime this summer? Is it ending sometime in September to October? Or is this going to persist and just stair step up like we have seen all the way in through 2026 and beyond? Let me know what your comment is in the live chat or comment down below. Do you think this is going to be an extended cycle? Or do you think we're going to have a big peak this year and it's going to crash back down over 55% from whatever that top is? I think it's going to be extended. It's going to continue moving to the upside. Do not forget, though, we still have the CME futures gap that is down here at about $92,000. So it wouldn't shock me if we had something that had a big washout before we continued up, but I'm not counting on it. The vibes are bullish. The demand is bullish. Unless something major happens, like some sort of, I don't even want to say the word because I don't want to get demonetized here on YouTube. But be prepared if you do get a washout, but things are looking more bullish. The washout I'd be looking at is a price action move back down to right at about 100,000, potentially somewhere in this trap between 98 to 100,000. But this would be a strong buying zone for me. I do think that the market is about to absolutely rip. And then, of course, Hester Pierce says the agency is considering a conditional exemption to allow trading of tokenized securities. And in fact, in addition to that, we're seeing Ondo and Robinhood might be forming up a partnership to tokenizing some of those things that Robinhood allows trading, because it is a trading platform. Now, before we go, we have the liquidation heat map here showing a lot of liquidity down here at $92,000. This is right about where that CME futures gap is. But it also feels like this market it's getting set for runaway mode. So do not bank on being able to get the price action and targets down here. While this looks good, it's a huge liquidity magnet. I would be aware of the potential of the price going down there to scoop it up, but I would not bet on that being the high likelihood. Unless something changes dramatically across all global markets, I think that, even testing down into here would be probably the better bet. I have very low conviction that price is coming all the way back down to fill that CME futures gap. Now, looking at Bitcoin, I want to come back over here and look, as we just mentioned, Ondo getting a beautiful breakout here on this. It's a 24-minute chart. Ondo's having a beautiful breakout of this, which also shows that inverse head and shoulders like we're seeing on the others chart. We're seeing massive price explosion, reclaim that dollar mark. It's not guaranteed it's going to hit that next target next, which is in the $1.21 zone. So don't be surprised if we get a little rejection here before that happens. But as it looks, looking absolutely beautiful. Those that have been stacking into Ondo, congratulations on being patient. But this is a beautiful bullish reversal pattern showing that we are looking at this next target here in the very near future, $1.23. The target after that, the golden pocket at $1.60, and then up here to $1.84, and then back up to $2.20 and beyond. We're seeing this across the board. Tau, which we mentioned, breaking back up into this channel zone. I do think this is going to see higher. Again, Be patient over this weekend. If we get a little bit of pullbacks, I'd be looking for buying opportunities. DAG has not made the move yet. Maybe that's an indication that could be something to keep an eye on, because this is just trading in this range. I'd be keeping an eye on that. Morpho making a nice move to the upside, breaking out of the zone. Bull flag, kind of a falling channel bull flag. I'd be watching the next target up here, $1.75 and then beyond. Dog, where are my dog holders at? Dog is just making the ways to the upside. Look at these targets that I've laid out for Dog on Bitcoin. The price action, look at where it had a little bit of trouble first. It had a little consolidated sort of upward channel right into the target that we had on the chart already. And then look at the next leg up. Look at where it's pausing at the next target we had. And then what is the target beyond this? The next target we're seeing above this is up here at the 0062 level, which is, I mean, these are not small moves. This would be another 75, 80% move to the upside. But watch out for some dip buying opportunities if we do get some pullbacks, because we've had some explosive moves across the board in the altcoin market space. Now, considering what we see on Solana, beautiful move out of this zone. Coming right into that target that we talked about. Look at where it was held up first. This previous range of this downtrend resistance, found resistance on this along the way. We've broken out, coming into this larger downtrend resistance that started all the way back here in November of 2021. Another resistance point right here in March of 2024. And we're coming right into that target zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a little bit of work to do on Solana before this absolutely rips to the upside. But so watch for opportunities in here. But guys, I'm feeling good. You guys are looking good. The markets are feeling spectacular. Make sure you're stacking in if we have dip buying opportunities, because this market is about to absolutely take a trip to Moonland. Hope you all do have a wonderful weekend. I have to run. I'm jumping into a Mario Nuffall panel discussion right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell on the way out. I love you. I appreciate you. Be sure to retweet this over on my page right here, over this and on Academy BitLab. It is this tweet right here. Hit that retweet. If we can get this over 40, we got all the way until Monday. If you can get this retweet thing up to 40, we will randomly draw from those of you that are participating and retweeting, and we'll do a giveaway on Monday. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Adios.